Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Fox Sports 1340 Super Bowl preview. As you know, this Sunday will be the biggest matchup in Super Bowl history. Why? Because it's Super Bowl 50. It's the Golden Super Bowl where we will see Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos take on Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. But before we get started, I have to introduce you to my compadres. First, introducing, welcoming to the Fox Sports family, the one and only, the Social Yaya.
Hello. Hey, everybody.
How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you, and I'm very happy to be a part of the team. Yay. Yay me.
Oh, happy to have you. And of course, you guys know him. I mean, usually when you see us talking, it's usually we're talking wrestling. But tonight, we're talking sports. That's the only Mike Knox.
What's going on, everybody? Happy to be here. Soul and Sports on Fox Sports Radio, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Make sure you check it out.
All right, let's get started. Now, as you know, this is the Super Bowl. Peyton Manning. A lot of people did not expect him to be here. Wait a minute, since we didn't get started yet, let's go ahead and introduce the godfather of this great project himself, the one and only Glenn Thomas, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Ladies, how you doing?
What's going on?
Not much, man. Had to get on my phone.
I called it.
Glenn came in like a batter at the sliding and home plate just before the throw got in. Safe! But, as you know, this Sunday could be Peyton Manning's last rodeo. He's had a conversation with Bill Belichick, a conversation he thought was private with millions and millions of people, having access to that audio in a few days. But he said this could be my last rodeo. We'll start with the lady of the house. Yaya, what did you think about that?
What do I think about the last rodeo? I'm quite sure that this definitely will be his retiring year. At least it should be, just to go out on the good end. That's how I feel about it.
Mike?
Well, those who know and listen to me and follow me, I've been screaming for Peyton never having to come back in the first place, but nothing to prove, and how he could tarnish his legacy by coming back. And so far, by not winning, having the injuries, I think that's also occurred. By the greatness of that defense, he is back in the Super Bowl. Not the same Peyton Manning physically, but he's definitely the same Peyton Manning mentally. So I think he will be the best prepared player on the field going into this game. And as far as being his last rodeo, it has to be. It should be, as social media Yaya just said, it has to be. Peyton Manning needs to hang it up, winner or loser. He needs to go ahead and go home. Glenn?
It's John Elway's decision. It's Peyton Manning's decision, but John Elway needs to pull the trigger. You need to pull the trigger on not signing him. Let his contract run out, whatever case may be. If Peyton doesn't retire, you get rid of him. And that would be, I know he's a Hall of Famer, first ballot Hall of Famer. You make him that backup if he wants to stay on a roster, but he can't start next year for your organization, whether it's win or lose. You let him ride out. We've seen what happened with Brett Favre when you stay too long, and what a story it would be. I mean, it happens to Ray Lewis a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Ray Lewis won a Super Bowl and went home. Michael Strahan won the Super Bowl and went home. So it's not a bad thing if you win the Super Bowl and go home. Not a bad thing if you lose it and go home. You're Peyton Manning. You're already a first ballot Hall of Famer. What else do you have to prove?
I sit back and I wonder, you brought up Ray Lewis, but you also brought up Michael Strahan. So my mind naturally takes me to Jerome Bettis. And it makes me ask you these questions.
Notre Dame.
Those guys, from what I remember, did not necessarily say a definitive statement, this is my last game, except Ray Lewis. I was there when he made the announcement, this is going to be my last ride. I don't remember Jerome Bettis. We knew it, but he didn't make a definitive statement. Same with Michael Strahan. Is it better for the team that Peyton Manning makes a definitive statement, or is it better that he doesn't make a definitive statement?
I'm going to jump in on that. The team already knows.
Mm-hmm.
And the team already knows. We, the media, don't know yet. I'm sure Peyton had talked to that. And you got guys like Peyton. They don't want the game to be about them. When you tell your team, this is my last game, And this is the Super Bowl. People begin to press. There's already enough pressure that it's the Super Bowl, and millions of people are watching. When you add it as my last game, what you do is you take the focus off the team and you make it about him. And it's not about him. It's about the Denver Broncos. So you don't tell the team, but I believe the team already knows.
So are you saying that Ray Lewis made it about himself as opposed to team?
Yep.
And he wasn't though.
Ray Lewis's career has been about himself.
Whoa! It's about getting the team rattled, man. Get the team all pumped up. But in that,
not a bad thing in that, but it's always been about Ray Lewis. And not saying that he didn't get the team motivated to follow him, but it was about Ray Lewis. What can Ray Lewis do to pump the team up? Reason they was in the huddle because of Ray Lewis, not because of the Baltimore Ravens. Reason every time they want to see they want to see Ray Lewis dance, not the Baltimore Ravens.
I mean, when you're a franchise player, you pretty much start the franchise. Those things tend to happen.
And you take it upon yourself to that way the pressure is on Ray Lewis and not the Baltimore Ravens. Maybe some players, I know we all talk about the players that don't have the heart and don't have the bravado to do such a thing. Ray took that upon himself. But with Peyton Manning, obviously he's not, Ray Lewis. So about making it about himself is the opposite. And I know I'm always ripping Peyton Manning to my wife's displeasure when doing that. And sometimes it's a little ripping to do that too, because I know she's a big Peyton Manning fan. But just because of certain things that I've seen in his game over the years. But one thing, despite his game being said at this moment, talking about the man himself, Peyton Manning's a class act. Peyton Manning, as Glenn said, is a first ballot Hall of Famer, not just because what he did on the field, but he's been an ambassador for the NFL since he's been in the league as well, and coming up doing the things that he has done in his league as well.
This is the thing, man. I'm a huge fan of Peyton Manning. Always have been. To be honest with you, it's every time he plays in the Super Bowl, with the exception of the first one when he played your hometown Chicago Bears, Mike.
That's why I give that ring a little thumbs down. He beat Rex Grossman.
But he's always played against people whom I wanted to see have it more. Okay. I wanted to see the Saints with the situation of Katrina, and plus they beat the Vikings, who was quarterbacked by Brett Favre, whom I didn't like. I wanted to see those Seattle Seahawks win the championship because of Russell Wilson and Richard Sherman, especially after what Sherman had did. And now he's going against Cam Newton.
Right.
But no offense. It's just when I look at it, there's no way I can see Peyton Manning come back. And, I'm going to ask you guys this, kind of like our mini segue. Will we see Brock Osweiler in this game? Meaning, how long will the coach have, Gary Kubiak, how long will the leash be on Peyton Manning? Because we saw what the Panthers did to the Cardinals, and we saw what the Panthers did to the Seahawks. Is there a possibility that we see Brock Osweiler, Mike?
Well, what happened with the Seahawks, I believe, was a little bit different. It wasn't a turnover of circumstance necessarily, and they kind of got it together and buckled down. Arizona, we know what it was. The 6 turnovers by one quarterback. You got to pull them at that point, which they did not do with Carson Palmer. But in this situation, I don't think in the Super Bowl with millions of people and millions of people watching, you can pull a Peyton Manning. It's just as disrespectful as when the Detroit Pistons decide to have Allen Iverson come off the bench. You just don't do that. You just don't do that. So unless this game is 42-0, okay, and he's thrown 7 picks in the first half, no, Peyton Manning's going to play the remainder of this game. Glenn?
I mean, I know what I would do.
Brock's the future, though.
He's thinking of the joint, and we still in the game to win the Super Bowl. Peyton Manning's getting pulled. Whether it's 30 million people or 2 million people win. I didn't come to the Super Bowl.
But isn't that what he's always done?
I can't game.
But isn't that what he's always done? Hasn't Peyton?
We're there to win the game. If QB got the balls, you pull Peyton Manning and you win the football game, and you explain why you pull Peyton Manning. Let's be honest. If you pull Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos still win, guess what? You pulling Peyton Manning makes you look like a genius. Who cares about his legacy at that point? I'm about the Super Bowl. I'm not about Peyton Manning Because therefore, like I said earlier, you make it about Peyton Manning. It's not about Peyton Manning. It's about the 52 other guys on that team. And are you able to put us in the best position to win the Super Bowl? If Brock Osweiler is the best position right there, and Peyton Manning is stinking up the joint, you pull Peyton Manning, you put him on the bench, and you go out and win the Super Bowl.
If I can with that, what kind of game are we talking about? We're talking about a blowout here, or if he's doing, say,
I would put it like this. This is the situation.
I'm asking because in what you're saying, if this is a close game and Peyton's thrown 2 picks, but they're still within the chance of winning the ball game, Peyton Manning's not going anywhere. Now, if he's throwing picks and they're not in the ball game, then perhaps. But if this game is close, despite how bad he's playing, but they're playing close enough where they're 10 points out in the fourth quarter, a touchdown out in the fourth quarter, that young kid ain't getting off the bench. That moment is too big for him, and Peyton's overcome that way too many times in his career.
Let me set the situation up for you. It's third quarter, they down by 14, and Peyton Manning has been sacked 3 times and thrown 3 interceptions, and they're still in the game. Does Brock Osweiler come in?
Absolutely not. Absolutely, it's not about because it's not about what we've seen of him this season. Again, I am as critical, for those who don't know, on Fox Sports Radio 1340 WHAP Hopewell. I am the most critical person on the internet over BDSR network over the past 6 years, and especially stuff on this network Monday through Friday, 5 to 7, cheap pop, but it's not. Okay, Peyton Manning is a legend. Despite all the antics, despite all the talk, despite everything else, he has proven over and over and over again that he's come back from playing terrible games. That's one of the things you can't knock about the guy.
Standing with Peyton all the way.
You're staying with Peyton?
Mm-hmm. I could be dead wrong, but yeah, I think so.
No, I don't think you did wrong at all. Sometimes we have a tendency of being who we are too much. We're media. We're critical of a sport that we do not play at that level. You know what I mean? Or being a moment that way. So that's why I came up with the fantasy bodies thing. Like, hey, we can make fun of these athletes. Let's get in the gym and have the health and nutrition that these athletes have for us to be able to talk about these guys at a certain level. And again, physical is out of the question. When it comes to Peyton Manning, again, I don't like the guy, okay? But he is great mentally. You don't take this is the Super Bowl. This is the biggest mental of a game you could possibly get. To take Peyton Manning out at 14-0, you described in the third quarter, 3 interceptions, 3 sacks. No way. It's still 2 touchdowns. Peyton Manning can turn it around like that. We've all seen it. He's like Superman without the kryptonite in front of him. He can rise to the occasion.
That's true.
Well, I think this is different, though. I think the best thing going for the Denver Broncos is they do have that ability. And pardon me, but I don't remember a team in recent memory having the ability, if the game kind of gets a little bit out of hand, where they can go to another quarterback. Well, I should say, if the game looks like it's going to get out of hand, they can go to another quarterback whom they can be confident in. Brock Osweiler was key in those 6 games that he played.
He went 4-2, if I'm correct.
And beat the undefeated Patriots.
He did beat the Patriots. Mm-hmm. Okay, but my point and everything with that, and I'm big on Brock Osweiler. Okay, I've been big on him for a few seasons. Been waiting for him to play. He is the heir apparent. Okay, big quarterback is gonna have to franchise tag this guy because he's a free agent as well. Okay, but he didn't play so great. Okay, he had his few games going back to December against the Pittsburgh Steelers. He played his best game at 296 yards, 3 touchdowns and a pick. Then 299, a touchdown. Then his last game against the Chargers. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, and his lowest completion percentage and quarterback rating of the season at that point, which is why they went back to Peyton Manning. The offense is completely different. This may be the future may be Brock, but now it's Peyton because the offense is run for Peyton Manning.
Mm-hmm. But you got to look at the game that he got replaced in. Peyton really didn't do anything spectacular in that game.
No, he did not.
They
not
ran
at all.
the ball to win the football game.
Absolutely.
They ran the game to win the football game.
Absolutely.
So that's the thing. I mean, my thing is, you're there to win the Super Bowl, and you play who gives you the best shot.
Let me ask you a question, sir. So
right
you
now,
have Larry Bird.
On taping this, it's Peyton Manning. But in the middle of a game, as a coach, you can't be scared to pull your starting quarterback to win the game.
I don't think it's about being afraid at that moment, though. That's all. I think it's about going with the guy who's proven that he can do. You're going to go to Larry Bird. You're going to go to, or you're going to go to PG-13. When the game's on the line, no matter how bad Larry's on the floor laying because his back is hurting, I got to believe he has enough intertesticular fortitude, to come back and win his ball game because he's done it. I think certain things in life you earn.
Well, I just want to move on, but real quick, the last quarterback. Oh, go ahead.
I would say this game is not really on Peyton Manning's shoulder. It's on that Denver Broncos defense.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be honest, Peyton right now is a manager of the game. He manages the game. He can't make mistakes. This game is really built around the Denver Broncos defense if they can stop the Carolina Panther offense. And I didn't mean to segue in that early, Brian, but that's what the bottom line. It's not about Peyton Manning.
Well, I was to say this. So I guess that means the answer. Well, before I say that, I just want to state Drew Bledsoe was the last backup, quote unquote, quarterback that I was thinking where had the situation. And I actually believe he actually played in the 2001 Super Bowl. I think he might have played a couple of snaps or two. I'm sorry, that was the AFC Championship game in which he played. But I know Tony Banks, who was another quarterback who was replaced, who was nowhere near as good as Drew Bledsoe or Brock Osweiler did play. But moving on, is this the biggest game of Peyton Manning's career? And what I mean by that, if he wins this game, is it enough for us to wipe the stink off of his Super Bowl record? Meaning, will it kind of be like for younger fans like myself? I don't remember John Elway's Super Bowl losses, but I remember those two big wins. Will this be enough, or will people always still have that? Yeah, but Peyton didn't always win the big one.
I guess I'll start with this. To me, this is not the biggest game of his career. The biggest game of his career was against the Chicago Bears because he got the monkey off his back and he won the Super Bowl. And to get to the Super Bowl, and truth be told, the Super Bowl wasn't the biggest game. The biggest game was the game before that when they beat the New England Patriots. And so that was his biggest game of his career for him because he couldn't beat the Patriots. That was the thing on him. You can't beat the Patriots in an AFC Championship game. So he finally got to the Super Bowl, him and Tony Dungy. They won a Super Bowl. This game right here doesn't define who Peyton Manning is. And if anybody's, we thinking because it's Peyton Manning, it doesn't define him. It doesn't define the Denver Bronco organization. It's another game that Peyton has an opportunity to win. Let's be honest, Dan Marino's in the Hall of Fame. He didn't even win a Super Bowl. So Peyton Manning, not a big career, not a big game. If he wins, he has two. He ties his brother Eli. If he doesn't win, he has one Super Bowl. He still can say he's a Super Bowl champion and a future Hall of Famer. So it's really not a big game for his career.
Mike?
I think it is a big game of his career. I give Glenn credit there in that, he did win the Super Bowl. If that was his big game, it wasn't the Patriots because at that point in time, and they proved that with how they always pull out stats that we don't think about because we think about the playoff stats. He's 3-1 against Tom Brady in the playoffs, despite the other losses. So they were 1-1 in the AFC Championship game. So that whole thing, and of course the record, we see what it is, and obviously he couldn't win in Foxborough, which was a big game, and so that was the biggest thing at that moment. But as far as this game, I think it is. If it's not the biggest, it's the second biggest game of his career. Absolutely, because this is the one that's going to define his career. You asked the question, do we continue to say, well, this and that? Yeah, we will. That's why John Elway is not in the conversation. And to me, he's the best quarterback to ever play football, the president of this team. Peyton Manning, win or lose this game, will always still have the naysayers like myself that say he played in the weakest division in football throughout his entire career, from the AFC South now to the AFC North. Okay, he's had opportunities. His one Super Bowl win came against Rex Grossman. This is the one, if not a bigger game, because people like myself will always, say you beat a Chicago Bears team with a very beatable cover 2 defense that was playing above his head, that was led by special teams. Okay, the greatest special teamer of all time, Devin Hester, that put them there and had them up. And again, your opponent was Rex Grossman. Okay, so this is the game that defines Peyton Manning career as he goes against Captain America and the Avengers on that defense and Super Cam and the Newtons on that offense.
Yeah.
I totally agree with what you just said. I honestly do. I think that this game he needs to pull off in order to have that status of, okay, why we, go on and on and on about Peyton Manning. But if he doesn't, then he'll be just that one guy who's just a superstar because he's a superstar.
All right. Well, let's move.
I think Glenn has a bad taste in his mouth there about something that was said there.
Go ahead.
You're defining this guy, and Mike, you keep bringing up Rex Grossman. I don't care who the quarterback is. If you're in the Super Bowl, you're in the Super Bowl before. You don't play against the quarterback. Peyton Manning never took a snap against Rex Grossman.
Yeah, we know that. We know that in retrospect. But who is Rex Grossman really beating? It's the point. It's Rex Grossman. Let's be serious.
Yeah, in the day, he won't be anybody.
That's like Gus Frerotte getting to the Super Bowl.
But if you go to that game was fairly close a little bit. So Rex Grossman pulls it out. We're not having this conversation. You're not saying, "Oh, Rex Grossman won a Super Bowl." God dog, Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl.
Again, and no one gives Trent Dilfer any credit. So if they who did Trent Dilfer go against? Brian?
Kerry Collins.
Who is Kerry Collins but a guy who got drunk and raced his car and stuff? He was not a big-time quarterback.
Well,
it was
let's not forget, though.
That game. I'm not saying he was
put up points, though.
I get that, but guess what? Rex Grossman did not put up points. That's the point I'm making. He went against, again, I said it, I know you're breaking up. That's like Gus Frerotte going to the Super Bowl. Enough said. Come on, man. He went against Rex Grossman.
You can't compare. Oh, his Super Bowl's tainted because he went against Rex Grossman.
Yes, I can.
He had to go through Brady, though.
He went against the team that came out of the NFC. You can't say, oh, it was Rex Grossman.
Guess what? When LeBron went to the finals the first time, guess what? You know what I mean? It's in the eyes of those guys who like the nitpicking. You're a nitpicker, okay? Yourself, you're just not picking against this, not nitpicking, as I'm nitpicking, okay? But hey, guess what? I'm sorry. That's how I see it. He did not beat anybody worth beating. It's like when they said, now which Golden State's proving it's different now, but last year, going into this year, all you heard was the Golden State Warriors didn't beat anybody. On their way, they got lucky. They got this. They got that. People talk about who you face off against.
You play who's on your record. You play who's on your.
Akeem Olajuwon and Houston Rockets have asterisks next to their rings because everybody say Michael left for 2 years. It's what it is.
All right, let's move on. We're not going to agree.
I love you though. You know I do.
Folks, tweet us at Fox
that
Sports
was
at
love.
1340. Tweet us at 1340 AM Fox Sports. Let us know, is this Peyton Manning's biggest game of his career? But before we move on, we have to let you guys know that, the Super Bowl's coming up. So guess what? Go on to fanpicks.com. Mike, what's the code?
Soul 25. That's right. You don't got no money? It's okay. We're going to give you $25. Okay? Just go on there, fanpicks.com, FANPICKS.com. Right there. Brian's pointing to it. You got to be see. You got big hands with that camera coming down. Okay? You don't got no money? You're not sure about this place? Come on. Everybody got to start somewhere. We're going to start and give you $25. Soul, SOUL 25. Go ahead. You're welcome.
All right. So, moving on. I got to know this. We know how good Cam Newton is. We know he's explosive. We all know that. What if he wins MVP on Sunday, Yaya? What do you think will happen if Cam Newton wins MVP?
Oh, it's going to be some eye rolling, but you know what? It's all good. That's how I feel about it. It's going to be some eye rolling, but it'll be all good. You know what? It is what it is, and if he gets it somehow, some kind of way, then so be it.
Mike?
Listen, I have on this color blue for a reason. Okay, this evening. All right. Cam Newton wins the MVP. He will not only be the third African-American quarterback to win the Super Bowl. Guess what? All three beat the Denver Broncos. How great would that be? He would deserve to win the MVP award. Let's go, Cam.
Just because of that, okay.
I just thought it's a great stat. We was talking about this the other day on the program, and I started thinking about it like, Russell. I'm always thinking about, the black quarterback, and because I will always believe that there's still a certain demographic, they're quiet, but they're still out there that say I wasn't intelligent enough to be a quarterback. Well, Cam is proving them wrong, and we're going to have our third one this Sunday. And, guess what? It had all been against the Broncos. I mean, that's what they're out there. That's what a Bronco is anyway, right? It's a horse you got to tame. So.
Horse you got to tame. Glenn?
If he wins,
okay.
he wins. He wins. We got to look at it. Mainstream media or NFL media, they like Cam Newton. It's just that select group of people don't like Cam Newton. I think everybody likes this guy. So if he wins the MVP, he's going to Disney World, and so I think he will win it.
Well, do you like him?
He has a game.
Do you like him?
I like Cam Newton. I have nothing against Cam Newton. I've been liking Cam Newton ever since he stole laptops. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
For those back in college days, I've been a Cam Newton fan always. I followed him in junior college. I followed him, to Auburn. I followed, so I've been a Cam Newton fan. I've been rooting for him to win the Heisman Trophy. I like Cam Newton. I enjoy what Cam Newton does. He brings excitement to the football game, to the game. I'm not one of those people to say, you shouldn't celebrate. Because how many times can you get in the end zone? They say any given Sunday, this game can be taken away from you. You're one hit away from not playing the game. So enjoy it while you can. I enjoy the fact that he gives kids the balls. NFL want to find him, so what? He got the money to pay for it, and hopefully Carolina Panthers are paying for him. Give the kid the balls, whatever case may be. I enjoy Cam Newton. I hope he has a great game. My thing is that sometimes in society, people don't look at it from that standpoint. Everybody celebrates. And so if Cam gets it, man, enjoy it. It's another culture of the game that's being part. And we can't have everybody in a cookie cutter mode. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not Peyton Manning. Everybody's not Tom Brady. Everybody's not insert quarterback here, insert quarterback there. Everybody can't be just stoic. Some people are exciting.
Sure.
If Johnny Manziel didn't have his problems and issues, he's Cam Newton.
With a name like Johnny Football, how could you fail? Oops, my bad. I guess he did.
I look at it like this. If Cam Newton wins MVP, I know me, I'm going to be happy. But I know who he was when he was still, buying stolen laptops. No, I didn't. But when I will say this, when I saw him at Auburn, I was like, wow. Because when the things happened with Michael Vick, as a black man, I was looking for who's going to be that quarterback. Now, I wasn't the biggest Michael Vick fan. As a matter of fact, I used to go toe-to-toe arguing that Donovan McNabb was better. But there was a thing called the Super Bowl that made me very disappointed in Mr. McNabb and the way he dragged to the line of scrimmage. So it kind of just tamed it for me. But now it's seeing Cam Newton, it's like, okay, this is a guy who has the total package, and that's who I want to see win the MVP, and I know I'll be happy. And I'll tell you this, you might want to follow 1340 AM Fox Sports, because we will have some cool graphics for you when Cam Newton wins the MVP.
He led the league in points scored per game. They led the league in second in rushing per game. They were 11th in total offense per game. And no, the media does not like Cam Newton. Maybe the four-letter tries to act like they do, but no, they don't like Cam.
I don't see them hating him. There's no reason to. There was a lot of people who said, like, they didn't understand the point of the letter that was coming his way. They didn't understand why there was such hatred towards Cam Newton. So I kind of agree with Glenn. They do like him. There's no reason for you not to like Cam Newton.
Right. I think
those fans were pretty ugly.
But also got to look at the market he plays in, and nothing against Carolina. He plays in the Carolina Panthers, for the Carolina Panthers. Mike, you talked about the AFC West, what you call it, AFC West earlier. He plays in the NFC South. It wasn't the best conference this year neither. You see what I'm saying? So if you think about it, Carolina, even at about 13-0, still flew underneath the radar. Far as there was not much talk about them being all totally undefeated all the way to the Super Bowl, all that. It was a little bit talk about that, but not much. Yeah, they were squeaking games out late against the New York Giants and against other teams with last-second field goals. So it was one of those things where Carolina flew underneath the radar. Ron Rivera, he should be coach of the year. Good defensive play there. We saw them play on a primetime stage. I believe it was Thanksgiving night. Against the Dallas Cowboys. So we saw that, and it was a time for that team to get exposure to people who normally don't watch Carolina Panthers. Let's be honest. This is one of the few times that the nation was exposed to a lot of Cam Newton. And so when you're exposed to a lot of something and you ain't used to seeing it or used to embracing it, you go against it. To that mother who wrote a letter, you should sit down and explain to your son the importance and what this young man had to go through to get to that point into the game and why he celebrates. So it's one of those things. So you got the same person. I said always, Aaron Rodgers is double. It's celebration. So regardless if I dab or I do a double check, it is what it is.
Yeah, I agree with that one. I think that a lot of times in media, we always like to get someone that we like and someone we don't like just instantly. We just want to be able to fill in those spots. And being that he did celebrate the way he does, and it's kind of flamboyant, kind of like a little bit like prime time back in the day, way back
Hmm.
in the day or whatever. So people wanted to just instantly put him in that category. But when you, like you just said, when you look at his history and you really take it for what it is, as far as football is concerned, and again, his history and how he got there, yeah, you can't hate him. You can't hate on him.
No, you definitely can't hate on Cam Newton. But let's move on. I want to talk about the Super Bowl sleepers. Throughout the years, you have these superstars that go to the Super Bowl. They get their teams there. Then you'll have guys out of nowhere win MVP. You got your Dexter Jacksons, your Desmond Howards, your Malcolm Smiths. This year, do you guys have anybody that comes to mind who could be a Super Bowl sleeper?
Ted Ginn Jr.
Hmm.
in my eyes, could be a Super Bowl sleeper. Um, if he catches all the passes that Cam Newton throws to him, he would have a lot of yards. I think he could be a Super Bowl sleeper. I think he can be that guy on special teams. We talk about there having been a punt return. He might be a guy that could catch a punt return and take it to the house for the Carolina Panthers. He can return one from kickoff return. We got to remember this guy was at one time not up for the Heisman Trophy. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he won the Heisman Trophy or a major award. I got to double check on that. But he's an opportunity. He's a guy that I think can win. Could be a sleeper for the Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
I think the whole game is going to be a sleeper.
Whoa.
I'm sorry. I'm just not excited about the Super Bowl other than the halftime. And I'm not being a girl about it. I'm just not excited. I'm a Cowboys fan, first of all. Woohoo! Sorry. But yeah, I just think the whole game is going to be somewhat of a sleeper. So there you go.
Well, Madden predicts Carolina wins 24-20.
Mm.
I like Corey Brown. I also had Ted Ginn and somewhere I was going to go, but I wanted to be a little bit deeper of a sleeper. So when Glenn took it, it kind of let me off the hook there. But he's from my one of my neck of the woods, outside, down outside of Philadelphia, which is Darby, Pennsylvania. So watching him, know a couple of people who knew him back in Darby. Shout out to Dodge City down there. And all those guys. I got to look for Corey Brown here. And another sleeper there, I got to go friend of the program, my young boy, Evan. You know him, his cousin, plays for the Carolina Panthers, Mr. Funches. So he got a lot of playing time, exposed to a lot of playing time with the injury of Kelvin Benjamin going down, which, again, we all thought, at least I know I'm one of those guys who can admit that I thought their season was done, as I had picked them before the injury. When he got hurt, I kind of switched that around and went with Atlanta. But they can, and the good boys put us wrong. I like Corey Brown in this game. I think his speed can get, when he plays the slot, can be a problem for that defense that is the number one defense in football in the Denver Broncos, Brian.
I'm looking at don't know if you want to necessarily call him a sleeper, but Mr. Smith, coming back with a broken arm. Sorry, it was Davis. But just to be able to do that, wow. And I think if he could go out there and playing with screws inserted, he could go out there and be Super Bowl MVP. I think that would definitely be a sleeper. I know he's a captain. I know he's a vital part of his defense, but I do believe of course, we're talking about Cam. We're talking about Peyton, especially Peyton, because this is his last game. Who's going to go out there with a broken arm? Because the Super Bowl. That's who I'm picking, because I just think he's going to have that to try to get this game for the Carolina.
If I can insert another one here, and I picked the Carolina Panther. If the
right. Good point. I thought that.
Denver Bronco, if a Denver Bronco was going to win it and would be a surprise, it would be Von Miller. Miller will be my surprise for the Denver Broncos. And I go defense because I think he could, if he can get about 3 or 4 sacks, cause a fumble, I think Von Miller, if he had the same type of game that he had against Tom Brady in the AFC Championship game, if he has that in the Super Bowl, Von Miller could be the surprise MVP.
I just can't see Von Miller being a surprise with the way that he played in that AFC Championship game, and who we know of him as his career. That's all.
And I say that because they're usually defensive players usually don't win the MVP award, and that's why I say a sleeper.
I think we talked MVP. I thought we talked sleepers. Means good game or go either way. Either way, tomato.
He's a sleeper in my case to win. We talking about sleeper to win the MVP award, right?
Yeah.
He's a sleeper to win the MVP award. He's a sleeper to win it because he's a defensive player.
I got you. I go that running back that killed me in fantasy football for a Denver Bronco, C.J. Anderson. I picked that guy. I held on to that guy for like 9 weeks. Probably why I lost. What'd you say?
That's probably why you.
Yeah, I held on to him for a long. I had no running back. They all got hurt. When Jamal Charles went down, I was done at that point.
Yeah. And we all know who won that in that league.
It wasn't you.
No, it wasn't me.
All right, then. So, obviously, by me saying I killed him for 9 weeks, I didn't win. Okay, so, but I had a better record than you.
Hey, I know.
Well, certainly. Moving on. Now, let's say, who has the better offense going into this game?
Wow.
Hands down,
I
Carolina.
think that one's. Yeah, I think that's a no-brainer there.
Now, with that being said, two-part question: Carolina's offense versus Denver's defense. Who has a better shot at that? Like, as far as that matchup.
Denver.
Who you like? Denver?
Yes.
Okay.
Carolina, because I don't think Denver can handle Carolina's receivers. I mean, we had receivers from, and I'm not saying there's no. You going from Gronkowski to Greg Olsen, so you have to do the same thing that you did, kind of to Gronkowski, because Greg Olsen is not a bad tight end. If I'm not to be mistaken, he's within the top 5 of tight ends in the league, in my opinion. So Greg Olsen is one of those guys, and I don't think that the pressure on Cam Newton can stop Greg Olsen in that receiving spot.
I would go simply. I gotta go Carolina's offense versus the defense, and a little bit of what you're saying. I think Denver did a very good job against the New England Patriots. But again, and I sat there watching that game saying, if Belichick doesn't go out and get an offensive weapon, somebody can stretch the field for Tom Brady, then the Patriots can't get back to the Super Bowl. They did have a problem with Gronkowski, who was hampered by injury. Greg Olsen is going to give them problems. The problem also with Carolina versus that defense is that there's more than just Greg Olsen that's out there. And they got to leave. They got these. That's why I think guys like Corey Brown, guys like Funches, the slot guys, because Denver's going to stop the run. That's a no-brainer. No one's running this ball. But I tell you one thing: if you listen to MJD, Maurice Jones-Drew, who hasn't done nothing in his league since his fantasy football hasn't done well, who said Cam cannot win a Super Bowl because all you got to do is press Cam Newton. Cam Newton's the only guy I've ever seen in the NFL that throws darts, accurate passes off his back foot. Something that every week all you hear is say that's his problem. That's why he threw a pick, according to other quarterbacks. But Cam is so big. He is so strong, and he's so confident right now that I think this offense is the reason why they will win the Super Bowl. And because the defense is amazing, but I just think it's too much for them to handle, and they haven't seen an offense like this in a few weeks.
Huh.
Wow, you had an issue with Mr. MK Maurice Jones-Drew.
Well, I played it today on today's program actually when I got word of that. The saying that someone can't do something because of a certain reason, I don't like that. He's there. He's made it this far. Say I don't think he's going to win it, but to say he cannot win a Super Bowl because of these flaws in his game, what has he ever won?
Yeah.
To say that, in my opinion, that's all. All he did was he was great in Madden and he was great at fantasy football. But once that ended, he's a horrible commentator and he sucks at Madden football that comes on the NFL Network every Friday night. I said it. I'm challenging him. Go ahead, Maurice Jones. You don't want none. I've watched the guy play over and over. We talk about Brian. He runs those same plays kind of guy. Okay, he runs the same plays. So no, Maurice Jones Jr. could go ahead and try to win a championship before you have to say somebody else can't win a championship. I forgot he can't. He retired.
Well, tell him where he can find you to play you at, Mike.
At Mike Knox, right there.
That's not your gamer tag.
Oh, I'm sorry. The Game V1, THA V1. Go ahead, Glenn. You had something to say.
Yo, ain't nothing wrong with running the same plays in Madden. It's just like Cam Newton. It's your job to stop it.
There is something wrong with that. You don't play video games. You don't play video games. Don't tell me. Not like that you don't. I've had this discussion with you a million times.
I play. I coach. If you can't stop it, I'm going to keep running it.
This isn't Coach Boone with split Novocaine, give it time. This ain't, I get that in high school football, and I get that. I'm talking about and when you're watching Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, no one runs the same play 4 or 5 times. A play like a fullback dive from the 20-yard line to get 5 yards, but it happens in a video game, sir.
Truth be told, you watch an NFL game, they run the same play at the same time. They just run out of different formations.
I know that. That's all I'm asking. And that's all as gamers, which again you wouldn't understand. We are at Brian, can you back me up here what I'm saying here? We know things can run the same time. You just run them out of come on now. I'm not oblivious here. See, we're playing tennis tonight. I like it. Keep on bringing it. I'm serving it. Come on.
I'm just saying, a lot of times when, you let your brothers go at it, and you just sit back and watch, you just sit back and get the enjoyment
That's
out
what
of
I'm
it.
doing. I'm new to the team here, so I'm just kind of like, oh.
That's why, I'm just
rude.
sitting back, I'm not taking sides, I'm just enjoying a good conversation.
Yeah, this is good.
So, they're going back and forth from, hey, I'm for one, I hate when people run the same plays. But eventually, I'll find a way to stop it. I'll put it like that.
Eventually, you're absolutely right. You do find a way to stop it, and that's why I'm good at what I do. The Game V1 on all capital letters, like my name, Mike Knox. That's how I like to spell.
I don't think if you put it in lowercase letters, I don't think they won't find you anyway. But
no,
like Twitter.
No, you're absolutely right. No. Xbox Live, where the big boys play, is case sensitive. You cannot put in lowercase letters, or it will only search for that. I guarantee you that much.
I found you using lowercase letters because I didn't feel like hitting the button every time. So
that was 360.
Whatever. But looking at we talked about Cam Newton going against Denver's defense. Excuse me. How about Denver going against Peyton Manning going against that defense of Carolina? Will we see the shredder? Will we see him? And will we see the run game? Will they get 100 yards? We know they are. I believe they're undefeated when they rush for over 100 yards. Will they get that this Sunday?
I'm gonna say no. I don't think they get that this Sunday. I think that Carolina defense will kind of expose the Denver Broncos offensive line. And I don't want to use the word, and some people don't like to use expose. But I think they will confuse Peyton Manning a little bit with their coverage and the way they run things. We got Demaryius Thomas may get his. So you got to look at whether they get his or not. We got to get into the end zone. You're gonna have to score touchdowns against this Carolina Panthers defense. And if you look at the Denver Broncos offense, besides the New England game, they really didn't score too many touchdowns in the last final weeks of the season. It became a field goal fest. They got the 2 touchdowns. They got the touchdown against the Broncos, 2 touchdowns against the New England Patriots, and that's because of the tight end. So you have to score as Peyton Manning. They're gonna have to score touchdowns. Carolina Panthers defense. Field goals are not gonna cut it. So I give my edge again to the Carolina Panthers defense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still for the Broncos.
I'm looking at this, and what I saw was a pack of wolves 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And people can say all they want about Carson Palmer. They can say that the lights were too bright for him. I mean, and you could also say, the week before he struggled with the Green Bay Packers. But when you think about the Carolina Panthers, it's easy to say, well, how are they doing this? if you didn't watch them. If like you Glenn alluded to earlier, because they're in the Charlotte market, not in a big time market, they wasn't always on television. So if you didn't have Red Zone or you're not a fan, you wasn't tuning in. But what I saw was a pack of wolves. Every time that ball was snapped, they were hunting. And I believe the reason why that happened is because they almost let it slip away against Seattle. And because of that, that's the type of what I've seen from that team is that's how they overcame adversity. Yes, did they need to lose one game? Probably. Like we said earlier, the pressure is off because it's no pressure to go 19-0. So looking at this team, I just see them being all over Peyton Manning, and I just see that I don't see Peyton Manning's offense being a match for Carolina's offense and being a match for Carolina's defense, meaning I don't see them being able to go points for points because the bottom line is, I don't care what anybody say, Peyton cannot throw that ball the way he used to. And Emmanuel Sanders is good, but, he's at Denver. And bottom line, they didn't go out there. Yes, Owen Daniels is good, and he works well in Gary Kubiak's schemes, but Luke Kuechly and them boys going to have something waiting for him.
A lot is being said about Denver's Broncos and their defense and how they're number 1 in the league. Well, the Panthers are number 6 in the league, number 1 in the NFC. The passing defense, everything looks on paper at this team that, again, I brought it up and touche by my big little brother there, Glenn, and where Carolina play in that division. Neither team really plays in the greatest division, so we got to look at the teams they played against. I think, and I'm looking at the schedule now, to my belief, and the records that came out, Carolina's played the toughest schedule between the two teams. I think, as I saw them earlier, Captain America, Luke Kuechly, and the Avengers. You said it, Brian, like a pack of wolves. They got Wolverine out there in Davis. They got the corners out there playing hard, playing fast, playing fancy, having fun. I just think it's just too much. I think this game may not be as bad as a few years ago when Peyton Manning played Seattle, but I think this is not a good matchup for this team with the Peyton Manning that we're going to have offensively on the other side. So that's why maybe, just maybe, I don't believe it, but if a skin of chance of them winning this game, I just don't see it. I don't see Peyton Manning being able to do anything to this defense. I think they're too fast. I think they're too strong. And I think they're going to overpower the offensive line the way that Glenn said they would. And it's going to be a sham mockery.
Yeah. Well, breaking news here. Not that it's necessarily a key part to this team because obviously he's a practice squad, but he is a part of Denver Broncos. This just coming through on Deadspin and various other websites. Broncos practice squad safety Ryan Murphy is questioned as part of a prostitution sting on Tuesday, according to multiple reports that took place in northern San Jose, about 10 minutes from the 49ers Stadium, which we know is the site of Super Bowl 50. So, I don't know what kind of circus.
There's some hoes in this house.
I don't know what kind of circus Gary Kubiak is running. I do know Ron Rivera and Cam Newton was just talking about how, yes, there will be a curfew for the Carolina Panthers, but it's a lot of the guys are kind of self-regulating themselves so that it's not necessarily – I know with Brian Billick, there was no curfew. He trusted his guys. Ron Rivera trusts his guys, but he said, yeah, there'll be a curfew, but they kind of been putting it on themselves anyway. I don't know what Kubiak is on.
Hey, Brian, there's no curfew on prostitution. Whether you go to bed at 9 o'clock or you go to bed at
That's a good one. That's a good one.
You have a point. You have a point.
There's no curfew on prostitution.
But like I said, I don't know what type of circus they running over there, man. I think somebody, come on now, somebody got to be saying, look, dog, we in the Super Bowl, man.
Zip it up. Zip it up.
Let's wait till we win this thing, or lose.
Maybe he was setting up for the win.
But if you can go back, I believe the Cardinals, or it might have been Arneius Williams, and I hope I have his name right.
Arneius Williams.
Same thing. Arneius Williams, yeah. Same thing. His Super Bowl year got caught up in female troubles prior to the Super Bowl. So not the first player. This is the practice squad player. You had a starter. It's really not going to affect. It's a news story, but it's not going to affect the Denver Broncos' preparation. Kubiak may address it, but I want to get back to the point that we was at before Sasha Sosa Yaya addresses it. The reason that Carson Palmer, the reason that Russell Wilson had a bad game is this, because Carolina goes out and scores so many points quickly, it makes the other team one-dimensional. When you have no running game, and I know that you're a one-dimensional offense, I can pin my ears back and my front seven will come after you because I know that you're going to have to pass because you're down by 21 and the clock is ticking. So you become a one-dimensional offense, and that's what the Denver Broncos can't have happen on Sunday. They need to keep this thing as close as possible, mix in a little bit of run, mix in a little bit of passing, and don't become one-dimensional even if Carolina gets up by 2 or 3 scores.
I'd like to ask you guys this question.
If you want to see Brock Osweiler, let the Denver Broncos become one-dimensional and Peyton start getting hit on a regular basis.
When we look at this game, and we've seen 2 years ago, the first play was the safety. All right, everybody, pick a wild. What's your first score? How's it? Your wild, craziest first score of the game.
Pick 6.
Pick 6.
Carolina. Carolina will win the toss. They would defer to the second half. Peyton Manning's going to come out at the 20-yard line. He's going to move the ball in his first play, maybe his second play. The commentary, everybody's going to be happy thinking Peyton Manning's Peyton Manning. And then, boom, there it is. To the house, Kuechly, Captain America himself, as I've deemed and named him now. Pick 6.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be the Broncos. I think it's going to be a close game, though.
First play. First score play. You just think is this going to be a traditional score or?
Oh, here you go. I think it's going to be traditional.
Okay.
I'm telling you, I think this game is going to be boring.
It can't get no more boring than last year for me personally. So actually, it can't get no more boring than the Giants Patriots too. Glenn.
Kickoff return.
Kickoff return.
House.
Take in.
Yep.
That's just. Well, I guess it makes sense. That's your Super Bowl MVP, right?
Ted Ginn taking the first one to the house.
I'm going with Luke Kuechly fumble recovery. I think he's gonna go out there. It's gonna be a strip sack, and he's gonna return it.
And I hope I'm not a gambling man, but I wish I got that safety because somebody won $20 million off of that.
Yeah, Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban, Mavs owner.
Oh wow.
Yep, Mark Cuban won 20. I didn't want to put his name out there, but it's not like he needed another $20 million.
Exactly.
He won $20 million.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like you said Brian H. Waters won, and I got people knocking on the door.
Right.
But real quick before we transition.
$2 turned into.
Okay. Huh?
It was $2 bet that turned into $20 million.
Wow. But real quick, just want to let everybody know, if you are shopping, and you should be, because guess what? Valentine's Day is about 2 weeks away, folks. Or if you don't celebrate Valentine's Day, you might get ready for your NBA All-Star Game trip, your All-Star Game party. If you're taking a trip, you need luggage, or you need to be having a party. We know you need some stuff to play around your house, so we're going to invite you to go right to foxsports1340am.com. Go click the Amazon link. Support us. Support the show. Get all your items from there. And as the sports case tells you every day, you can get a good deal, get a good discount. I know my daughter just had a birthday party. Guess what? My wife went right on foxsports1340am.com and bought a lot of stuff from there. So make sure you go there, folks. Everybody likes Amazon, so start with our website first. Click it, open it up in a new browser, do your shopping. Go back to foxsports1340am.com. Read all the content, all the Twitter feed is right there. Make sure you can catch all our shows right there. You can catch, if you miss Soul in Sports, you can catch that. You can catch the Flex Zone. You can catch the Ricardo Report, Sports Case, listen to KNN, and you can see all our great writers' content. So, guess what? It's Super Bowl week, so we're going to have daily content for you. So, moving on. Let's pick the winners. And we will start right from the left, move all the way to the right. Who wins Super Bowl 50 and by what's the score, Glenn?
Carolina Panthers, 35-17.
Mike?
Well, that's what I had. Carolina Panthers, 35-17. But I'm gonna be different now because of that. I'm gonna go 42-17. This is the best team I've seen in the Super Bowl offensively and defensively. I said it earlier. They have an ex-Chicago Bears their coach. Shout out to my hometown, the Bears, the Bears, the Bears. This team reminds me of the 1985 Chicago Bears coming into this game. No one really thinks they could be there, but they know they got there anyway. A little bit different. I mean, the Bears, everybody, the way they played, thought they would be there. But going into the season, no one thought the Bears would be there. No one thought Carolina would be here. They lost those guys. I think Super Cam and the Newtons right up into the sunset, and it'd be the third black quarterback winning the Bowl against the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
I think the Broncos. And I think that's going to be like a close game. I say 31-35, something real close and really dull.
But 35 points, that's not boring. That's a total of 70-plus points.
Okay. I still think it's going to be a dull game, though. However they get the points, it's going to be boring. But that's just what I think. So, yeah.
Well, it's no secret. You can see what colors I'm wearing. Obviously, I do everything for a reason, so I'm picking the Carolina Panthers. Here's the interesting fact about Brian H. Waters. You can go out there and tweet it. If you follow my Twitter account, at Brian H. Waters, you will see this fact from a couple of days ago as I was shouting at my boy, Gerald Huggins. My first jersey was a Carolina Panthers jersey that I got from Value City for $5. And it was Tim Biakabatuka. And so, you know, I'm not a bandwagoner. I'm just saying I've been a supporter of the Carolinas because that's one of my favorite states, both North and South. So I'm going with the Carolina Panthers. They're going to get it done. My second favorite quarterback in the league, to Joe Flacco, will get this done. He will be the MVP. He will throw 4 touchdown passes, and the final score will be 45-17 Carolina.
Wow. Okay. I see that all you guys are with Carolina. That's cool, and I understand why, because you guys are so smart. But I tell you what, if the Broncos just pull this out of their rear, I'm going to shame y'all. That's all.
Go right ahead.
I'll be honest myself. I love Peyton Manning. He's been my favorite until before there was Flacco, before there was Newton. Outside of McNabb, he was my favorite quarterback.
Yeah.
But it pains me to say this. If the Broncos win, I might be sick. And last year, I was sick when Tom Brady won. It's no offense, but I just want Cam Newton to get this one. Because next year, quite frankly, I will not be rooting for the Carolina Panthers to win the Super Bowl. I'll be rooting for the Ravens or the Cowboys. It's just that simple. So I want them to win it while they're here.
Now, I totally get that. Yeah.
So, final thoughts. We'll start with you, Yaya. We'll move on over to the left.
Okay, well, for me, I want to say thank you again. This has been really interesting, and I'm hoping to stay on with you guys and really get into some real conversation. This was good. Thank you for being sweet. That's what I'll say for that.
Mike?
Hey, thank you guys as always for checking in and tuning in. We are trying to do what we do, and that's talk sports because we love sports. Make sure you tune in to the Solon Sports with yours truly and the crew that I like to call them the Untouchables, Jay, Chris, and Wally, as well as my man King Vaughn Jr. 720 on Twitter, who holds it down for us. Our crew Monday through Friday. If you can't reach us in the local area on Fox on 1340 AM, make sure you tune in anywhere you are, iTunes, Stitcher. It doesn't matter. Tune in at 1340 AM foxsports.com. Check us out, guys. We're here for you. Make sure you check us out. Len?
Final thought is this. Super Bowl, big weekend. The world is watching. Let's not forget, those who are having a blizzard in the Midwest right now who may not be able to watch the Super Bowl. Those in Lansing, those in Michigan may not have clean water right now. I know we're all enjoying the Super Bowl, but there are bigger things out there in the world that's going on right now other than the Super Bowl. But if you're sitting back for the Super Bowl and you're watching your family and you're enjoying it, enjoy it. Enjoy Cam Newton. Enjoy the celebration. Enjoy seeing the last time Peyton Manning may suit up as a NFL quarterback. He won't be a coach in the league after this. Pride and intelligence won't do it. And most times, that not intelligence there, intelligence translated to somebody else. Because sometimes when you have these great athletes, i.e. Michael They can't translate it to anybody else. So enjoy Peyton Manning on his lap. Carolina.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. If I'm just get back in here, yo, congratulations to my daughter who is going to college, y'all. She got accepted today to my little baby girl, and she's going to HBCU. So where I was too dumb growing up, I made her even smarter than me. So shout out to my baby girl for doing her thing. I'm a proud father.
Congratulations, that's fantastic.
Well, congratulations to her, and congratulations to you, because obviously you set the foundation by being there. So
Right.
congratulations to you. Don't short yourself by any chance on that one, Mike. My final thoughts is, let's just enjoy this for what it is. We have the best two teams. Clearly, the number one team in the AFC and the number one team in the NFC. The AFC Broncos, they could have missed the playoffs in week 16 if they lost 16-17. They could have been out, but they found a way to get it done, and they're the number one seed. Where the Carolina Panthers pretty much dominated, and they were a clear-cut number one seed probably by week 10, 11, or 12. So let's enjoy this. It's Super Bowl 50. It's the golden edition. It's the anniversary. You don't remember a lot of the numbers, but a lot in between. But usually you remember 30. You know, for me, obviously I remember 30. It was the Cowboys. 40 was the Steelers. 50 is hopefully the Panthers. But nonetheless, it's either was the Panthers or the Broncos. You'll remember because it's the anniversary year. So let's sit back and enjoy this. Make sure everybody go out there, have fun, be safe. Go to fanpicks.com every day. Pick your lineup. Make sure you subscribe, and you can play DraftKings or you can play the other ones. Play FanPicks.
No.
No.
I'm gonna tell you that FanPicks is the only one that's having a Super Bowl fantasy draft. It's not King, not anybody else. Got off earlier today. Got a new logo up on the website. As soon as after the show, fanpicks.com. For their $1 million giveaway, not DraftKings, anybody else, but fanpicks.com.
Well, see, that's what I said. Don't go to those.
I know we're doing football, and my final thoughts to this: Vince McMahon, there's nothing wrong with putting numbers behind your event. Super Bowl 50, you should be WrestleMania 32. We should see the 32 somewhere.
There we go.
I want the Roman numerals back.
Hey man, that's how I learned growing up. But like I said, make sure you go to FanPicks. I said, don't go to. I'm gonna make sure Glenn knows. I was saying, don't go to those sites. Don't go to the other ones. Go to FanPicks.
Oh yeah.
And,
I know what you're saying. What's the best to know? There's a special thing out for FanPicks.
Yeah, and so and make sure everybody buys from Amazon. Let's be real. What are you doing? I'm about to take a shot, but you're going in Walmart, you're going in Best Buy, you're going in Target, you're wasting these salespeople's time, their hard-earned time. Thankfully, they're paid by the hour, not by the sale. And you're looking at the product, and then you're going home and you're purchasing it on Amazon. Since you're doing that anyway, go right to foxsports1340am.com and click on that link. You can get discounts. So, until then, ladies and gentlemen, make sure tomorrow, what time? 5:30? 5 o'clock.
5 to 7.
Yeah, 5 to 7. Tune in to Soul and Sports. Then 5 at 7, tune in to the Flex Zone. And then get to your Twitter handles, because Mike and myself will be live at the Warriors-Wizards game, giving you the best coverage in sports. So make sure you follow us at 1340 AM Fox Sports. So long, everybody.